And so we're here, the final, the first final of the season, the final of the English Carabao Cup, between two teams that have been at loggerheads for practically the entirety of the season. Talking about the Premier League title, they have been head-to-head since the start of the season, 1 and 2. And now, it's the first final of the season, and once again, it's these two teams. Arsenal taking on Manchester City, or should I say Arsenal, table toppers in the Premier League, taking on Manchester City, second in the Premier League. Fahad, what are we looking forward to in this game? The first game that this two, should I say the only game that these two sides have played so far this season was a draw. Man City almost winning, with an early goal, and then Arsenal finding a way. I mean, that was probably the first time that Man City were playing a low block and just trying to defend the lead. What do we expect?
I think that was the lowest possession Pep Guardiola had ever had in his career.
Yeah, we know. But what do we expect in this game? Can Manchester City put away from their heads the disappointment of the loss to Real Madrid and focus on this?
I think that's why they are professionals. I mean, as professionals, you have to move on from a disappointment, move on to another game. You take every game by game as it comes. So for Manchester City, knowing fully well that they are out of the UEFA Champions League, they will want to win a cup. Because knowing fully well that Arsenal, the Premier League might be out of their reach. They will not want to go empty-handed in the season. Pep Guardiola might not want to go empty-handed as well. So you might want to win the Carabao Cup, and they might want to say, okay, yeah, we need to win the Carabao Cup at the very least, they want to win the Carabao Cup. They are playing against an Arsenal side who are very, very good.
What does this mean to Arsenal? I mean, going for the Premier League, going for the Champions League, but this is the first final, the first trophy of the season, and what would this mean to Arsenal?
I just hope we don't. I don't want to use the word but, so I just hope we don't lose the final, because believe me, the pressure of this final is on us. I think Man City has won, during Pep era, I think they have won 4 or 5 Carabao Cups already.
There was even a time, I think they won 3 in a row or 2.
So, Carabao Cup is probably like a normal match to them, if not for the fact that they are hungry for a title this season. They are still in the champ. That was why I was hoping they defeated Real Madrid. I was hoping they came out, they qualified for the quarterfinal. At least they will still have a trophy they are competing for. So, but this time around, it's
Champions League is gone, Premier League is gone.
Premier League is almost.
FA Cup is half gone because Liverpool never can tell. So this looks like their final chance.
Do you understand? So, and I wish, a wounded lion can be easier to kill, at the same time can be very difficult to kill because I'm a corner. So that's what City is currently. So though I'm still happy at the same time. Whenever Guardiola is desperate like this, he tends to make mistakes.
All right, talking about making mistakes, let's talk about tactical approach to this game. Let's start with Manchester City. We have seen him line up so many ways this season. In fact, it feels like the Manchester City team right now is a confusion team because we just O'Reilly in the midfield, O'Reilly left back, Rodri midfield, Semenyo on the bench. He has mixed it up every way that one can imagine, and most of these have not worked. But then, what kind of formation are we expecting? What kind of lineup are we expecting against Manchester City?
Well, for Pep Guardiola, I think most of this time this season he has gone with a 4-2-2 formation, knowing fully well that he wants to play an attacking football. But at the same time, it has not really worked because if you look at the players he has right now, they are not players that are controlling. And they control the game like the players he had before. And the players
is it time to drop Bernardo Silva?
I think the fact that Bernardo Silva is more like a leader, a captain in the team, kind of makes it difficult.
Rodri too.
Aside from the leadership role of Bernardo Silva, while I think Bernardo Silva is the only player in Guardiola's 11 that is playing Guardiola's style of play. When you talk to ball retention, movement, giving the right passing at the right time. And I think it's only Guardiola that is only Pep Guardiola's specimen aside from Rodri. So, and that's why to retain, believe me, if Man City is playing without Bernardo, they won't be having much of the possession. There was, and recently there was an interview at Etagin and said, Premier League football now at times you don't have to build up from the back, you have to go between the line and everything. But Pep still wants to maintain the tradition of playing from the back and everything. And if he wants to be doing that, he needs someone that's very good with the ball, with a very good ball retention to be supporting Rodri. So I think that's why it's always going for Bernardo Silva.
So how does it line up? The back three, Gray, Diaz,
Yes.
Yeah.
Martins Nunes. Who starts left back, O'Reilly or
I'll tell you to go right now. I think against Madrid in the second leg, it was better. Despite the fact that they were down to 10 men, it was still better. O'Reilly was still a better fit than when
you mean Adnori
was still a better fit than when O'Reilly played.
Alright, midfield. So is this a 4-2-3-1 formation here?
I'll go with the 4-2-3-1 formation.
Alright, so midfield, Rodri. Who partners Rodri? We saw it in January Render's partner Rodri
yes.
against Real Madrid. We have seen Nico O'Reilly before. We haven't seen Bernardo Silva drop deep to partner Rodri.
I'm saying Rodri, Bernardo, O'Reilly. Because O'Reilly is still a young guy and is very energetic. And he need that much of an energy in that.
So that's the midfield then. On the wings,
Doku definitely, Semenyo.
I think Doku needs to start.
don't you think they need the rank check in the attack?
Probably the second half. Just as he's thinking of his team, he needs to also study the way his opponent plays. So with Doku, we know Doku is an all-flank winger. And we all know that Arsenal's best position on the field this season has always been the defense, and he knows.
But Simba is not available, so it's maybe Ben White.
Yeah, Ben White against Doku, and we know Doku will definitely frustrate Ben White a lot because you can't compare the ability of Ben White when it comes to one-on-one situation with Timbers.
Yeah.
So, but then Arsenal's centre backs will want to feast on Haaland, so he needs someone to be creating a channel right behind Haaland, and that's where Semenyo comes.
Okay, all right. Well, let's flip the script. Let's talk about Arsenal. What should be Arsenal's approach? Because Arsenal is another team that in recent times, before now, we used to say that we know Arsenal starting 11. We know the guys that will start with. But in recent times, it's not been like that. You can't say that anymore. So the attack, you have Noni Madueke, you have Saka, you have Trossard, sometimes Martinelli. Everything, you never can tell. But let's look at the best approach for Arsenal. Now, the defense line to the midfield, I think we know what to expect. Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori or Campi?
I think he has to continue in Campi. You can't just change your...
Even aside from changing the team.
Are you not saying that Campi is better than...
No, Calafiori is a better player. But we don't know the winger Pep will be deploying. When it comes to playing at the
fullback. But what is Semenyo? Can Campi handle Semenyo?
Yes, Campi can, and averagely, let me put average. Campi can handle almost every winger because Campi is the type of defender that if you dribble him, you still come back. And Campi is a very dogged. It's more like Moise Caicedo. He's a dogged player. He's ready to feast on you, ready to pounce on you. He's not a good ball player. He's not concerned with let's play ball. No. He's concerned with let me do my role, let me defend. That's a Campi for. There was a run he made against Leverkusen. That would have been a goal for Leverkusen. It would have been 1-0. He left the left back and came to the centre back to block a shot. So, despite the fact that he's playing as a left back, he's still using his instinct as a centre back to play. But Calafiori is a very good player. The moment the ball is going to the attacking stage, Calafiori is going with the ball.
Okay, so right back with the white. If Timber doesn't.
But I don't know. It may be my game. I'm expecting Timber. I don't know. Right. It's not as if I've seen it anywhere, but
you never can tell. Yeah. But in the absence of Timber,
Ben White,
we expect Ben White. Midfield of course.
And I won't be surprised also seeing Campi. I see Mosquera.
Where?
At the right back. It's my coach.
Is it safe for him to be making?
I don't see
that. You see,
in a final, in a one.
I know. It's not as if it's a risk. It's all because of Jeremy Doku. Even during the prime of Ben White. Once Ben White is playing against a prolific winger, he is always in serious trouble, I'm telling you. Ben White is very good on the attack, supporting Saka, bringing in those crosses. When it comes to him playing with a winger with a very good 1v1, Ben White or no new, go and ask Marcus Rashford now. And each time Marcus Rashford is facing Ben White, it's always one of his best performances. So that's what I'm thinking. If Arteta is also saying
maybe
it, I'm
Muscara
saying
will
it.
be more
I'm telling
solid.
you, once Muscara is
All right. The midfield we've got Zubia Rice, Eze as number 10,
I
right?
think he is.
No Odegaard, no Havertz.
I think Odegaard, I think right now he's not really available.
But if he's available, I think Eze takes this.
Yeah.
The only person I was wondering if we could give Eze a run for his money was Havertz.
No, I don't.
So Eze number 10.
Yeah.
Saka.
No.
Arteta will use Saka.
But you're saying it's supposed to be Nani.
You know, I don't know. Saka's performance these days has not been to the level of Saka. Though against Leverkusen was different. I think the game he played against Leverkusen, he had a decent performance. But prior to that game, Saka has been having on and off, just like, even though he has been better than Palm anyways, but he has been having on and off. So I'm still saying Madueke still has the urge to ginger to he always take the risk. Though at times he can be disposed. And then playing against Man City, Arteta want to use player that will be more conscious. He will prefer not. He won't prefer to use a team that is prone to mistakes. And let me tell you, that's something Madueke can do. Madueke can be dispossessed anyway.
Yeah.
He's careless with the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
Saka.
In addition to that, I think last time Arsenal won the FA Cup, Saka is the only player that is still in the squad right now. So I think the fact that Saka understands what it means to actually win a trophy.
That could be
He might want
important.
to put in there.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I said. And on the left wing, Trossard, the Martinelli,
I think he used
Trossard, and of course, Eucharist.
Yeah, yes.
And then Raya as the goalkeeper.
And Arteta.
No, Kepa, please.
And Arteta's the coach.
Put Kepa.
I say Raya's the coach. Arteta's the coach.
Put Kepa, please. All right, let's do predictions.
You know, we are going to win. I believe we are going to win.
How will you win now? Put your money where your mouth is.
If I'll be honest, it's going to be a very difficult game. Because aside from it being a final, Guardiola also wants to prove.
What is the second line in Madel Gagba?
1-1 Arsenal to win by penalty.
Wow, that's quite truthful from you. I mean, I thought I was going to be saying Arsenal 2-0, but then you realize
if everybody is beating Pep, I still have that fear. I don't know why.
That fear.
That's why I respect Pep. I see. I always look at him like this. Pep.
The fear of Pep. And honestly, when it comes to a one-off game, the final,
any game, Pep, Pep.
A hard prediction.
Well, Arsenal fans will be happy actually. They will score, but 9 minutes of the game still scored.
Hello,
just say 2-1.
Prediction.
All right, well, you have had the guys. The first final of the season. Who gets it? Arsenal or Manchester? Can you be Manchester City in this case?
Yes.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But let's know in the comment section who you're giving this Carabao Cup to.